Welcome back to Myth and Mental Health. My name is Justin Alexander Williams, and today I'm going to talk to you about my book, which is called REBORN VIRTUES CONSTELLATION. So, this book is the story of a character named Christian Belvedere who is diagnosed with bipolar. So, meaning that he has, according to doctors, strange thoughts about the nature of reality. Now, the story continues from there into proof that he may or may not be actually experiencing something that's very, very real, which is that the Greek gods have taken over his campus. They've been there for years, centuries even, and he has to face them down, all the while trying to save his sanity. Now, why would you want to buy this book? Right? If you've never experienced myth, if you've never watched myth before, you may want to buy this book because it's a real story about a family drama. It involves his father, his mother, it involves his friends, his girlfriend. It involves pretty much all the things that we would, or in peoples, that we as regular people in real life deal with, right? Real relationships, a real story about someone trying to overcome not only their internal struggle, but their external struggle, right? Joseph Campbell talked about the classic stories of the 12 types of archetypal hero stories. And this one definitely fits in there as an epic story that's contained in a magical realism setting where the real world confronts the unseen world, the divine world, the world that is very real and miraculous, yet somewhat out of touch. I remember when I was in college and someone was having a conversation, they said, the word miracle comes from the Latin word miracum, which is to be the revelation of what is actually true, meaning that our world is a veil. And in this story, we have a veil. There's something called the veil, which was imparted by one of the characters to protect humanity from the reality that the divine really exists. So why else would you buy this if you do love myth and you do know about Greek mythology? Well, you should also expand yourself beyond Greek mythology to the world of Egyptian mythology, right? The main character is, or maybe, Osiris reborn. And he has to face down a growing threat that's coming from his brother from ancient times, which is Set or Seth, the god of chaos, foreigners, deserts, and foreign nations. So there's a great love story in this book. It's kind of like a love, more than a triangle, maybe a octagon even. In this version, the second edition of the book that's coming out now has images that are renderings of the actual scenes in the book, and they're fantastic to look at. So I think you'll really enjoy this story if you want a coming-of-age story where a character overcomes a great obstacle that's internal and external. But also, if you really do love myth, or you've never liked myth, this is a book that's great for you too. The way that I write the book, it's a great introduction to myths from Japan, from the Egyptians, from the Celtic myths of Europe, as far as Spain to England and Ireland and Scotland. Myths from all over the world are involved in this book. And at the end, there's a crescendo. There's a great climax that really I think is going to go down as one of the more epic and also heart-rendering climaxes that people have read in the past year or experienced in the past year. So this book is near and dear to my heart as an author of the book. But not only that, I think the story of Christian Belvedere is the story of the everyman. It's the story of and woman. It's the story of a person who is told that what you really are feeling is not really what you're feeling. And gaslighting seems to be the modus operandi of the day. It's the word that everybody has on the tip of their tongue today because everybody feels like they've been gaslighted in their life, whether it's by a family member or whether it's by reality itself or a teacher or something that you've experienced. Someone has told you, no, you're not exactly right in your perceptions. But you have to make the decision to say, I have to go with my gut. And Christian Belvedere definitely has to do that. Another interesting thing, too, is the Furies are involved. So in Greek mythology or ancient Greek religion, the Furies are these beings that are so obsessed with justice, so obsessed with doing the right thing and making sure that people follow the divine order. That even the king of the gods himself, Zeus, fears them. That all beings are afraid to not be in line with these ancient totemic deities, pre-Olympian deities. And Christian actually happens to be the first and probably only male fury. And as such, he is compelled to do justice. But what does that mean to be compelled to do justice? Sometimes he doesn't want to do justice. Sometimes he wants revenge. Sometimes he wants to act on his own emotions, to act out his own catharsis. But if that's not aligned with justice, then that prevents him from doing so. And in such, again, creates more conflict within him, creates more drama within the story. And this story that has so many characters, from the Asgardians, like Thor and Loki, to characters like Wet Were Wet from Egyptian mythology, the opener of Pathways, to the Raiju from Japan. There are so many different interlocking pieces that really fit into a great fable. You even have the ancient knights, the Knights Templar from Christian stories. So if you are perusing Amazon or Barnes and Nobles or anywhere where you can buy books online, you should buy this book and will love this book. And you should tell your friends about it, share, like, and subscribe to my YouTube page, which is Myth Mental Health. You can also find me at Dubs Everlasting, that's D-U-B-Z Everlasting, on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me at Professor Jaws on Instagram. And you can find me as Justin A.Williams on Facebook. And join the community, the rising action of people who have enjoyed Reborn Virtues Constellation already. It's a great tale, and I think even Joseph Campbell himself would say that these characters are very compelling and that the book is compelling itself. And if I haven't made a good enough pitch to you, don't worry, I'll continue making a pitch to you. But remember, is it delusion or is it destiny? And think about things in your own life, times where maybe you've had a thought about, so many people today after the pandemic are really opening their minds to thoughts of, are we living in a simulation, the Matrix? What is the nature of conspiracy? What is the truth? What is reality? Even questioning things like, what is traditional religion? What is the role of mythology today? What can mythology teach us today? How can mythology lead to greater sanity? But how can opening the doorways of the mind also lead to some conflict? So if you've ever been there yourself, or if you know someone who has, or if you haven't, but you'd like to learn more about this, please do buy Reborn Virtues Constellation. It's under Trademarker Books, under the great Robbie Grayson. And so thank you so much for your time. And that's my video for today. There'll be another video coming out next week on another myth or another mythic theme. And again, buy Reborn Virtues Constellation. Thank you.